No. See, what had happened is that Ronald McDonald was out here making a killing. When he perfected his little concoction that we all know as the McDouble, he started swimming in money like the Oreo company. The hard part is over. Now all the fuck he has to do is just cash the checks, and he's appealing to the children. He's appealing to the little kiddies with the Happy Meals and stuff. He got it made. Ronald's product was so good that they named a whole town after him. Really, Ronald was the king of his own city. But he was like, why stop there? Starts having private conversations with Mayor McCheese. Now, Mayor McCheese isn't the type of person that you think he is. Some people looked at him as the George Bush of Mcdonaldland. Some people thought he was a fraud. Some people would call him a tyrant, but keep in mind, when you're under the ruling of a tyrant, the most valuable person in that kingdom is usually a rebellious soldier. They start chopping it up, and Ronald's like, yo, we should take this worldwide. Mayor is just like, yo, you think we can do that? And Ronald's just like, bitch, the only reason I started this whole burger chain is to get this city up off the fucking flow. Bitch, I'm swimming in money from just this city. You don't think that I can do that with the rest of the country? Mayor's like, I don't know. And then Ronald's like, bitch, you don't know a damn thing. You barely know how to run this fucking town. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be a fucking mayor. Ronald calms down and is just like, yo, you gotta trust me on this one. You gotta trust me. And then Mayor's just like, yo, all right, you ain't steered me wrong yet. Ronald goes out of his way to start the process, but he has to acknowledge the fact that he's still got a few ops out here. And that brings us to the Hamburglar. See, the Hamburglar is more like the Omar Little of Mcdonaldland. More like a Robin Hood, stealing burgers from Ronald, aka the rich, so he can give it to his peeps who are the poor. Because what people don't realize is that there's some parts of Mcdonaldland that doesn't get Ronald's burgers. Why? Because Ronald fucking said so. You see, the Hamburglar has been fucked over by Ronald multiple times, getting him locked up on multiple occasions for some dumb shit. They was over there hitting licks together, Hamburglar and Ronald, but come to find out, Ronald is a goddamn informant. The Hamburglar's like, bitch, I vow to make your life a living hell in every way possible. And I'm gonna start by hitting your stash houses. Not to mention, Ronald had the MLPD to worry about, but for a completely different reason. Say hello to Ted McCheese, a man who is all about law, order, and honor. See, Teddy knew that his brother was on some fuck shit, but Teddy was spending the majority of his time trying to catch the Hamburglar because his brother was the goddamn mayor. See, the mayor has everybody that he needs in his pocket except for his older brother. And he honestly believes that Ted has no idea what the fuck he's doing. But for Ronald, there's only one other person who's a bigger problem than the police. They call him Big BK. And no, I'm not talking about him. The dynamic between Burger King and Ronald McDonald is no different than 50 Cent and Sean Combs. Burger King just likes to show up in McDonaldland to fuck with Ronald. Ronald's been trying to stand over BK for the longest amount of time, but he can't do it. He's in a situation where he really can't get his hands dirty, but he knows somebody who can. Let's talk about Grimace for a second. Ronald McDonald's #1 enforcer, and the only person in McDonaldland who hates Burger King more than Ronald. Grimace is a motherfucking crash dummy, constantly FaceTiming Ronald saying, yo, just say the motherfucking word. Ronald's like, nah, G, chill, your day will come. Your day will come. You might be asking, well, why is Grimace ready to crash out for Ronald? Well, let me give you a little backstory. Grimace is a member of the Grape Street Crips. Not to mention, Grimace doesn't even live in McDonaldland no more. No. He actually moved to Memphis, which is where he got jumped in at. And seeing as how Ronald is the king of his city, he has legal resources that Grimace can't get his hands on. So whenever Grimace gets into some shit, Ronald is ready to get him out. Fast forward, BK shows up at McDonaldland to try to take over some unoccupied territory. Ronald's like, hey buddy, the fuck do you think you're doing? Then BK goes, whatever the fuck I want. See, BK knows that the only reason Ronald's doing this is to get rich. And he's fucking over his own people. BK is like, bitch, I'm sipping tea in your hood. What the fuck is up? Oh, and before you even speak, don't do too much. I can make your whole city turn on you. So BK starts spilling out some tea. Ronald is like, okay, yeah, some of the shit that you're saying is true. Maybe I should back up on all this rah-rah shit. So in order to shut him up, Ronald's like, yo, what do you want? You want a burger? I can give you a burger. BK's like, nah, I don't need none of that. I just need you to move out the way a little bit so I can conduct some business. Ronald's like, bitch, this is my hood. What the fuck is you talking about? BK is like, bitch, what part of I don't give a fuck do you not understand? Ronald goes back to the mayor to try to get some extra help, aka law enforcement, to get BK out of town. But Ted is doing everything in his power to put Ronald and his brother in a fucking headlock. So the mayor's like, shit, what you want to do? Ronald's like, I'm thinking, give me a second. So the mayor's like, shit, man, what you want to do? Ronald's like, let me think. Fuck. Shit, we gonna have to lay low for a little while, but let me make a phone call. BK knew all of this stuff about McDonald's, but Ronald knew one thing about the king that would destroy him. Ronald used his money to create a smear campaign against BK. Yeah, Ronald was doing some fucked up shit in order to sell his burgers, but he also knew that BK was selling more than just chicken and burgers, if you catch my drift. BK was like, ooh. Okay, then checkmate. Ronald was like, I'm gonna ask you again, BK. What do you want? Because you can't be in my hood doing this. BK was like, all right, cool, shit. You got Wendy's number? Ronald's like, I know damn well you didn't do all of this just to get to one of my old hoes. BK's like, man, I like fucking with you because it's so easy to get you upset. BK, get the fuck out of my goddamn face, and you better check in next time you come into Mcdonaldland. After that, everything was quiet. For a little while.